Start those engines. It is the race before the race. We're a little more than a month away from the NASCAR All-Star Race coming back to the North Wilkesboro Speedway. But there's a lot to get done, including repairing this massive hole that led to a historic discovery. Now, if you remember, operation crews were out doing a routine inspection of the grandstands when they found cracks in the concrete. They removed the seats and found a 700 square foot small cave. Speedway officials said they've heard stories about how an old moonshine still was operating under the grandstands and believe this to be a part of that.
We got into the hole and actually started researching and looking. There was things underneath there that you normally wouldn't see underneath just a dirt filled bank that concrete's on. There's some columns, there's a back wall. Those things make those stories start to come into fruition. And the funny part is whenever you look at all this, we don't have tons of time. We have a race right around the bend. So we have to start putting back together. So we couldn't play archaeologist too long. We had to go back to work. So that piece of the puzzle, we weren't able to find anything, but there's things in there from a construction stance you would think it's not built just because those things were purpose built.
Now crews are racing to fill the hole with concrete, and it's a slow process. Crews have to add that concrete little by little to ensure that it can be set and structurally sound. There are also little projects going on across the stadium.
Once you get all that, one of the biggest pieces was to make sure we had a tire established for the cars to be able to put on a good show. We're super excited about the new racing surface. We think it'll change the racing that we saw back last year. We're going to see something that really should be very competitive and a little different than Kyle Larson putting on a butt whooping for everybody to watch. The track's actually in really good shape. Everything else, because of all the construction we did last year, is in really good shape. So it's really painting, really making the place look pretty again, which it looks great now, but making sure all those pieces are in the puzzle are in place.
And all of this comes as the Speedway is preparing for another economic boost. Next month, the NASCAR All-Star Race is returning to the historic Speedway for the second consecutive year. There are tickets available for races, the campgrounds, parking, and several concerts that are planned in and around the racetrack. The week of racing gets underway May 17th. And last year, the All-Star Race generated an estimated $30 million for Wilkes County and $64 million for the state. And now the racetrack has a new story to tell about the grandstands. One thing that was left out in this that I wanted to share was their groundskeeper had just recently passed away. I believe his name was Paul Call, but he born and raised there from 18 until he passed away, but would say, hey, don't put too heavy of stuff at the top because there could be something that could cave in. It's come full circle.
Oh, but he wouldn't say exactly what it was.
Yep.
That's fascinating to me because it is well known for people that grew up in North Carolina that Wilkes County was really well known for running moonshine back when it was illegal in the 1920s. So that was kind of it was a thing for a long time.
And what did they say was the overall timeline of everything when they expect for it to all be?
I mean, the hope is just to get it done by race day. The challenge is now they've got to check different areas, make sure everything's okay. They wanted to keep looking, but obviously our deadline's coming
It's a quick deadline.
And to get it to set, and they just have to keep letting it.
That it's like a secret passageway in there for years.
So interesting.
Rumor has it on turn 4 that might be the still, where the actual still is.
Surely they could do it's like Sonic, you know what I'm talking about, where they look through things and see.
So they were, to find the mass amount, right, 700 square feet here, they were cutting out holes in the bleachers all the way up to see how far it would go before they
I saw one behind him, I think, in that interview.
Yes. Very interesting.